Every clone in the 41st Elite Corps, Gree. The guy had the Kashyyyk jungle in his armor when the war was still getting started. Special ops, scouting. He didn't sit waiting for orders. He and his men were already deep in it when other clones were still figuring out which end of a blaster was hotter. First was Geonosis. There's footage of him there, sneaking behind enemy lines, traps, sending info back. Later he was guarding Newt Gunray. It failed quick. Ventress almost killed Luminara, and Gree found out how dangerous Sith agents were. The war never kept him in one place. He went from one battle to another, led the 41st and Green Company, and often stayed close to Jedi like Luminara and Yoda. His jungle camo wasn't just for show. He was good in places that were tough for other troopers. He went to Rodeo with Senator Farr, then back to Coruscant, then out again. He kept moving. The 41st followed him to 17 different worlds in the war, more than any other battalion. He was crazy about aliens. He even named himself after one of their species. He ran more campaigns, battles nobody bothered naming, destroying separatist camps before they knew he was there. The man loved gadgets, crazy about alien tech, searched wrecks, and battlefields for gear. Kashyyyk is his last chapter. Republic and Wookiees holding back separatist droids. He's running the fight, leading beach attacks, putting walkers where they could shoot best, keeping Yoda in touch. Then the call comes. Order 66. He doesn't pause. Blaster up, closes the gap behind the Jedi. 2 seconds later, he's a headless body in the sand. Yoda didn't even slow down. Captain Grey. Grey isn't around usually, but when he is, it's important. Early in the war, he's running with Depa Billaba and Caleb Dume. He's the senior man on the ground, skilled enough to keep Billaba alive through the campaign on Kaller, which was a mess from the start. Grey stops enemy gun spots, sets up safe places to land, pushes his men through heavy return fire. He walked the line every night, checked on his men, made sure they had what they needed before the morning. When the 41st lands there, it's straight into trench fighting. Grey's on the front lines, helmet off, talking to locals, making sure the Jedi and troops work together. He was close with Billaba and trusted her. The flip is instant when Order 66 comes through. Orders are orders. Turns his men on the Jedi he's been backing for months. Blaster up on Billaba, on Doom. Billaba takes the hit, protects her Padawan. Grey hunts the kid, chasing Doom through snow, tracking him and using patrols to block escape routes. Years later, he shows up back on Kaller and says he regrets it. Helps Kanan Jarrus, the man Doom became, against Imperial troops. A clone surviving the shift to the Empire, still fighting, still strong enough to make a stand? That's Grey. His war kept going, just with different enemies. Grey was one of the few clone officers who survived Order 66 and lived long enough to see what the Empire became. Captain Styles. Styles showed up late to the 41st. The war was already a bloody mess when he joined, but he jumped right into the worst fighting without any hesitation. His men loved working for him. He gave short, simple orders. Do your job, move to the next target, stay alive. The big battle was brutal. It was raining hard and the walkers were having a tough time moving through deep, sticky mud that could easily trap vehicles. Styles fought right at the tree line, keeping his squad moving, making sure the droids couldn't get past their defenses. He mixed his Green Company soldiers with tank crews. A massive wave of droid tanks was coming, and Styles had to stop them. He stayed on the radio with Commander Gree, giving updates and helping plan the attacks. Most people never heard about Styles' other battles. 0 losses on recon. That was his record. His men trusted him because he brought everyone home. He ran scout missions on swamp worlds. He cleared out occupied cities. His teams went into dangerous places and came back with results. When everything changed, Styles adapted. He kept his rank under the Empire. Same job, different flag. He understood that good soldiers follow orders, no matter who gives them. The 41st spread across the planet, and Styles kept leading troops and getting results. Captain Jack. Jack started in the Coruscant Guard before moving to the 41st. His time in the Guard gave him discipline. He knew how to follow orders, keep control, and handle dangerous situations in the middle of crowds. When he joined the front lines, he used the same skills in open battle. He carried the big gun and gave orders in combat. He went forward with his men and spoke loud so they could hear him over the noise. His men trusted him because he stayed with them in the fight. On Kashyyyk, Jack used the turret against waves of droids. Every time he reloaded, he shouted new commands and told his squad where to fire. The droids kept coming. Bombs shook the beach and the fight lasted for hours. Jack's position stayed firm. If it failed, the defense would also fail. Before that, Jack fought on Trandoshan. The heat was heavy and the jungle was rough. He led a squad to rescue hostages from camps. A separatist attack hit them when they were still inside. His squad took losses, but Jack kept fighting until they got the hostages out. He finished the mission even when things went bad. Reports showed Jack leading from the front. He used his heavy blaster to kill groups of droids. He kept patrols safe by stopping ambushes before they hit. He stayed in the fight so his men could move back if they needed to. He gave them time by standing and shooting until everyone else was safe. Then Order 66 came. He did not stop to think. The command arrived and he fired on the Jedi. Commander Gree was killed. Yoda escaped. Jack fell before him and Gree could make their move. From the guard on Coruscant to the 41st on Kashyyyk, Jack stayed the same. He carried the heavy gun, gave orders, and stayed on the front line. He fought in every stage of the war until Order 66 ended it for him. Lieutenant Remo. He's on Kashyyyk during the main attack with the 41st's green camo troops trying to hold the beach and tree line at once. He's on the radio, sending fire teams into gaps before they get too dangerous. He moves in battle, blaster in one hand, scanner in the other, always going where the fight is breaking. Green Company puts him in flexible roles, separated from the main force, running fast teams. There's a scout op on Seleucami, him leading a team through ruined farmsteads, chasing separatist scouts before they could call in the big guns. Not pretty. Half the unit limped back, but they got it done. Remo knew he wasn't there to show off. No painted armor beyond squad markings. No fancy gear. Remo stayed 41st to the core. When Order 66 rolled out, the Jedi became targets. Kashyyyk's defense shifted and he kept leading squads until the new objectives were completed. After that, his name disappears from the files. Green Leader. Green Leader was the commander of Green Company, part of the 41st Elite Corps. He was the one giving orders when the Republic cruiser Tranquility came under attack in the Clone Wars. The Separatists broke into the ship. Battle droids entered the hangar in big numbers. Green Leader rejected fast. He stood in front with his men and told them to hold the line. He gave clear orders as blaster fire hit across the hangar. He knew the droids were not only after the hangar. They wanted the prison deck where Newt Gunray was locked up. Green Leader sent a call to Commander Gree. He told him that the Separatists were on the way to the cells. Before he could finish, a battle droid spotted him. The droid fired and hit him. Green Leader went down in the middle of the fight. His men watched him fall while the enemy kept moving forward. His death came fast, but it showed who he was. He didn't wait in the back. He stood where his soldiers stood. He made sure the warning about the Separatists got out, even though it cost him his life. Green Leader's last act gave the Republic time, even if only for a moment. He slowed the enemy and showed his men what it meant to lead. He died in the hangar of the Tranquility, fighting to the end. After that, Green Company carried his memory with them. Buzz. Buzz never stayed still. He kept moving and shouting orders to his men. He got hurt 4 times in the war. Each time he went to the medbay, he came back after a few days and rejoined his squad. He served under Commander Gree and fought with Jedi Master Luminara Unduli at the Second Battle of Geonosis. He carried a Z6 rotary cannon. That heavy gun made a buzzing noise. His helmet had the 41st green marks. He stayed on the front line and kept his men close. Buzz pushed forward and kept pressure on the droids. Buzz did not wait for orders. He moved first and set the pace. He kept radio calls short and clear so every trooper knew what to do. After the factory fight, Buzz went with Luminara to follow Poggle the Lesser. They chased him through a storm to the Progate Temple. Buzz found a cover that led down into tunnels. He opened the way and went inside. Then, a swarm of Geonosians came out and attacked. He fired the Z6 to hold the place so Luminara could pull back. The swarm kept coming. He took hits and went down in the temple. Later, the Corps found and recovered his body. His push helped the rest of the unit regroup and move on. He did his job, and kept fighting for as long as he could. Then everything changed. He died on Geonosis in 21 BBY. He never heard Order 66. He did not turn on the Jedi. He never hunted Master Yoda. Buzz fought the same way, from the start to the end. Hit hard and stay with your squad. Draw's name is written in many war files, even from battles that don't fully match. He was a soldier in Green Company of the 41st Elite Corps, and he fought in many places during the Clone Wars. Before the fight on Kashyyyk, he was with Jedi Master Luminara Unduli on Geonosis when they were attacking a droid factory, and later chasing Poggle the Lesser. He was part of the patrol teams that went inside the dark tunnels and small halls, shooting Geonosian fighters. On Kashyyyk, he fought near the beach with Wookiees and clones from Green Company. The droids kept coming from the sea and climbing up the hills. Draw worked with the rocket troopers, helping them destroy droid squads before they could fire at the Republic walkers. Some reports also say he may have been promoted to ARC Trooper during this battle because he was seen giving orders and taking on more duty than a normal trooper. Draw carried ion grenades instead of normal thermal detonators. These grenades worked very well against droids. Throwing one into a group shut them down fast and gave the front line time to move forward. When Order 66 was given, Draw followed it like the rest of the clones. He stayed near the landing zones and blocked escape paths on the beach. He kept firing and used his ion grenades to hold the area until the mission ended. Cooker. On Alzok 3, everything went wrong. The planet was freezing cold and the 41st had to destroy an enemy listening post buried in the ice. Cooker's team crawled across snowy hills in a heavy snowstorm trying to plant bombs on the towers. The clankers spotted their body heat during the mission. Cooker didn't run. He grabbed his gun and a bomb, then ran straight across an open hill while enemy fired all around him. He set the last bomb himself, watched the whole tower blow up. The explosion lit up the whole valley. That was Cooker's way. Do the job, get out, no time for celebration because there was always another mission waiting. Cooker's name kept showing up in fight reports. When things went bad, he was already moving to fix the problem. Commander Gree trusted him with the hardest spy missions. The swamp area during the big battle was his kind of fight. No clear places to shoot, thick plants everywhere, mud that tried to pull you down. Cooker took off heavy armor pieces to move faster. Scout videos show him walking chest deep through swamp water, gun held high, looking for clanker landing spots. His job was to find where the enemy was landing and tell Gree where to send the big walkers. Records stopped talking about him after the first few days of Imperial control. He was on patrol when new orders came through, probably hunting targets in the trees. The area was perfect for his skills, but after that, no one wrote about him anymore. Ambush. They called him Ambush because that is how he fought. He never stayed where the enemy thought he would be. On Kashyyyk, he was not part of the main beach fight. Ambush went into the jungle with a small squad. Their job was to hunt droid patrols moving between landing spots and to cut supply and comm lines. They followed droids for hours, moving slowly through the jungle, setting traps and hitting small groups fast. No big guns, only rifles and charges for close fights. This made the larger battle easier because the droids lost contact and support. He did not fall in a big fight. His file ends without details. No count, no record of his body. During the main fight, other clones saw him in the jungle. Ambush kept destroying enemy comm stations. One would be working, then it stopped. It happened again and again. The 41st got better updates because he kept cutting enemy comms. When Order 66 came, he was deep in the jungle behind a target. He moved quietly through the trees, stayed hidden and got close without being seen. After that mission, nothing more was heard from him. Rocket. The 41st called Rocket when they needed heavy fire. That made him different. Many troopers in the unit were scouts with light gear for jungle fights, but Rocket carried bigger weapons. On Kashyyyk, he carried heavy weapons and gave support to the front line. He fought with the squads holding the beach and gave the tree lines. When the droids pushed hard, Rocket gave cover. He helped blast groups of droids before they got close to the walkers. Later in the battle, Rocket changed his gear. The thick jungle made the rotary cannon too heavy to use. He switched to a DC-15A rifle. Troopers said you often heard the sound of his grenades before you saw him. The launcher let him take down many droids at one time. When Order 66 was given, not every detail was written down. What is known is that Rocket was sent to the Wawat archipelago to guard the coast and stop escape ships. Several Jedi were in the area, and by the end of the fight, the beach was full of destroyed speeders. None of the Jedi made it out. His work records stop the same week the war ends.